What's up, DevOps people? Hi there. It's me, Jochen. I'm back with my live coding stream. I'm happy to have you here. And today we have on our agenda a follow-up from last time, and that is switch our hosting dashboard application, which is based on Ruby on Rails, from CircleCI to TravisCI. That's left over from my last session, and I'd like to get this finished. There are basically two reasons why I'm switching between these two services for running our tests and integrating them with pull requests and stuff, and have our changes automatically deployed to our staging environment. The first one is we've recently subscribed to TravisCI, to the hosted commercial version, because it will enable us to run our chef cookbook integration tests over there. For architectural reasons, that's not possible with CircleCI, as far as I know. And the second reason is our current CI at CircleCI still runs on CircleCI 1.0, and they're going to discontinue 1.0. So I'd have to have some changes made anyway, and that's a good opportunity to basically unify everything and move everything over to TravisCI. Before I get started, as always, if there is anything you'd like to know, if you'd like to ask a question, if you have any feedback, or if you just want to have a nice chat, there's a box for that, and as soon as you ask something or so, I'm going to reply. So I guess that's it for introduction. So without further ado, let's get started. And the first thing I usually do when I start making changes is create a new issue on GitHub if that issue doesn't exist already. In this case it doesn't, so I'll go into our dashboard API repository and we'll create a new issue, switch from CircleCI to TravisCI. Since we're paying for TravisCI already, and we'd have to move from CircleCI 1.0 to 2.0 anyway, let's migrate the CI process over to Travis. For labels, this is mainly a testing thing, but we don't even have a testing label, it seems. Well, it makes sense to... Oh yeah, I know why, because I'm in our private code repository, and we have another public repository where we track most of our issues with the dashboard. So let's go to the dashboard issues repository and create that issue over here. CircleCI to TravisCI. I'll assign myself labels. Let's see if we have a testing label here. No, we don't. So let's create one. Let's find a nice color. That green is good. If tests are green, that's a good thing. So let's make this label green. I don't like this song, so let's skip it. Okay, testing. We have a testing issue. So did I lose my previous form? That's not good. Okay. I'll submit this and add the label now. And the type is neither bug nor enhancement nor question. And we probably have to have a new area development or something like that. Oh, we have an area development. Okay, here we go. So we have issue number 115. And the next step is always to create a new branch for that issue. So git checkout, new branch, 115 Travis. Okay. Now, let's go to CircleCI. And add a new repository. Dashboard API. This account does not have an active subscription. That's strange. It should have one. This looks like we have one. Yeah, we do. Okay. I guess we were missing the authentication. Here we go. No builds for this repository. Read the docs on getting started. Yeah, makes sense. I haven't integrated a Ruby on Rails application with CircleCI yet, so I'm really starting from scratch here. Okay, customizing your core concepts for beginners. Let's always start there. Well, I do know what continuous integration is. I hope you do too. If not, let's talk about that. And I'd be curious if you are already using continuous integration and some kind of solution for that, be it self-hosted like something like Jenkins, or if you are using a hosted offering. I'd be curious in what you have selected and why. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Using Docker, blah, blah, blah. Programming languages, Ruby. On Ruby projects, the default build script is rake. Add rake to the test group of your gem file. Let's take a look at our gem file. Rake certainly is in there. I'm just not sure if it's in the test group. No, it's not. And but where is it anyway? It should be in there. Oh, here we go. It's in development and test. Yeah. Okay. That's good. And I think rake runs the rake test task, and so that means that it's good. So I guess we simply have to have a travis.yaml file. Which says language Ruby. And since we already have a .ruby version file, Travis will automatically choose the right Ruby version. That's nice because tracking the current version we are using in several places is always annoying. It's good to have it in the gem file. I think it's up there. Oops. Yeah, here we have it defined as 242, and in Ruby version it should be 242 as well. That's nice. So by adding this, we should already be able to run tests in Travis. CircleCI uses bundler, so we should be good there as well. We can tell CircleCI to cache the installed bundle. We should do that, especially during development. We'll probably run quite a few CI runs. So we'll say cache bundler. Oops. What's happening? It's my keyboard that's acting up again. Oh, come on. Well, isn't it nice to see my local time? I guess I'm seeing the screensaver with the clock. You'll probably do too. How did I escape this last time? Oh yeah, I guess I... What did I do? Did I have to put the machine in sleep mode? Of course. I'd have to I'd hate to have to reboot my machine just to disable this rogue screensaver. Huh, look at that. Must be kidding me. Oh, this is so annoying. What do I do? How do I... it doesn't show up in the... task list. I'm open for suggestions. Wait. Oh, come on. There must be a way to... This is so annoying. Really close to rebooting my machine. Hey, Inner Horror, what's happening is that somehow I triggered a screensaver and I can't get it to exit. It's not the regular way the screensaver gets activated. I don't know what happened actually, but now it's blocking my keystrokes and I'm having a hard time getting rid of it. Can you log into a machine through SSH? That would be another thing that I could try actually. I think I have the SSH open and so I should be able to log in. Let's see if that works. So let's Let's fire up my SSH client on my iPad. I'll still have to find out which IP address this machine has, but I can. I'm sorry for the delay, but that's really unexpected and annoying. So that should be the IP address. Let's see if that works. It does work. Thanks for the hint. Let's see if I can find that process. I guess that should be the one. 97121. And we're back in business. Thanks, O'Brien. Okay. And thanks for following Jay Zimmerman. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. And I wanted to add the cache bundler statement. Thank God for having an SSH port open in the home network. Come on, that's that. Okay, caching is done. Okay, let's give that minimal setup a try. And when I push that, CircleCI should trigger a build. Nice. Lots of setup. Building Ruby 242 as expected. Bundle install will take a while for the first time. So just to follow up on your question, Inohara, is that how you work on macOS? Well, yeah. Apart from the screensaver debacle, I'm actually yeah, using macOS obviously, but I switched all my development to one of our servers, one of our Linux servers. So this Ops06 machine is one of our operations machines, where I have set up my development environment, running the stuff we run on Linux in production. So let's track back. All our complete hosting infrastructure runs on Linux. It's a few hundred Linux servers, and so switching my development onto a Linux machine just makes sense. And since I'm using Vim as my editor already, it was basically no effort switching from macOS to Linux. I had been doing my development work directly on my Macs for years. However, with the advent of Docker, I started running into problems, and with these necessary intermediate VM solutions that Docker for Mac required, we had quite a few complications, and I completely eliminated them by moving my stuff onto a Linux machine. I guess I could run a proper Linux VM on my Mac and work in there, but then I'd have to solve all the file system and data transfer issues, and that's not something I'd like to do. And on top of that, most of my development requires me to be online anyway. I need to install gems, update stuff, or if I'm doing infrastructure coding, I need to download Linux packages and stuff. So I can't work without being online anyway, so why not just move my development stuff onto a server in the cloud? I just saw that our deployment here, or our build process broke because there is no such file or directory Docker machine. Of course there isn't. That's probably something that is a remainder of when we used Docker machine to do our testing stuff. That should not be necessary anymore. So let's find out where this breaks. It actually breaks in config environments test. Whoa, okay, I don't even remember. But let's see. Okay, Redis URL is Redis plus Docker machine IP default unless environment Redis URL. Okay. And since there is no Redis URL set for the test, it tries to build that itself. I guess we'll simply replace that. How does the development environment work actually? I'll have to find out myself. Okay, since the development environment now runs completely inside Docker, we could just go and hard code Redis port 6379. Either that's the name of a Docker container that already runs Redis, or it'll break anyway, and we'll have to use an environment variable there. How many people use that Linux production server, or is it just for you? Well, it's one of our operations servers, which means it's only used for internal purposes by our web operations team. And at the moment, I'm the only person on that machine, so I have a whole actual bare metal server for my own. Okay. Let's give that another try. It would be nice to benefit from the caching now, but I have my doubts since the previous build run didn't succeed. Travis might not even have saved that cache. We'll see. Hello, UB Voltage. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. How are things in your neck of the woods? Let's see how this build runs. Can you do a dab for a stream? I don't get it. What do you mean exactly? Oh, it broke again. Ah, fuck. It actually tries to create a Redis connection. And of course, the hostname Redis can't be resolved. Well. CircleCI obviously had a Redis service set up. Let's take a look at the circle.yaml. So I had actually, and I need a Postgres and a Redis since we not only want to install the application, we also want to run it for testing. So I'll have to get a Postgres and setting up services and databases. I need a Postgres and MySQL. Not MySQL, Redis. Services PostgreSQL. And Redis server. Okay. Let's add that. Where are we? Travis YAML. PostgreSQL and Redis server. And how can I use them? Redis uses the default configuration and is available on localhost. I guess the same applies for Postgres. For a Rails application, you can now use the following database YAML configuration to access the database locally. Okay. So I would create a Travis CI test database and then use this in tests. So just to be sure, UB voltage, I don't know what you mean with a DAB, a DAB. What is that? Mm-hmm. Hey Simon, welcome to the stream. Okay, let's see. How does our database YAML actually look like? For test, I'm using dashboard API test. I could just create that. Host Postgres because we are running it in Docker. So the thing I'm struggling with at the moment is normally most of our tests will be run on our development machines inside the Docker Compose containers that we spin up. And that configuration snippet here reflects that. The host name is Postgres because the container is named Postgres, and that's that. And now the same testing setup needs to be run somehow on Travis CI, but we'll have to have another host name, localhost in that case, I guess. So I think I'll follow the documentation here by creating this Travis CI test database. And adding a database.yaml.travis and just copying that over. Okay, that dance move. Yeah, okay. My daughter would have known immediately what you mean. And tell you what, I'll have her train me, and I'll see you on Thursday on the stream, and you'll get your dab. If you mean the dance move, though, I don't think the other one is actually an option. Okay, you've completely derailed me here. So we need a database.yaml.travis config database.yaml.travis. Nope, not that one. This one. And we'll have to copy that file. Ah, crap, my keyboard isn't working as it's supposed to do. And I have to press my command key extra hard for it to work. So that's that. We'll have our database, and it'll actually get used because we tell Travis to. Now let's check about Redis. I guess I'll set Redis to localhost. We can close that. And if we're running Redis in Docker, we can set the Redis URL in the Docker configuration, so that we will be able to keep that working. Okay, let's take another look. PostgreSQL starting. Thanks, Simon, by the way. I guess I need you as a translator from time to time. Okay, so it doesn't run the tests because it hasn't the migrations. Do we need to set them up manually, or is there some automation we can use? Let's see, Ruby. Deployments and uploads nodes. Let's do a quick search. Travis CI rake db migrate. Sysadmin and youth coordinator. Sounds good. So, Travis Yama. At least in this script, it actually triggers these explicitly: bundle exec rake, schema load, and test prepare. So let's give it a try. I guess we could put these in the before script, because I think the script itself is the build script, and I would like to use the implicit one as long as I can get away with it. Nice. Reason to be optimistic. I really need to get this these fixnum warnings resolved. I guess we'll need a few gem updates, and we'll run into a new dependency issue. We are using segment for basically collecting events from the application and distributing them to different places, and I'll have to have a write key for the testing instance we've set up for segment. I guess I'll have to provide Travis with the necessary API keys. So let's find out how to do that the best way. Travis CI segment token. How does segment themselves do it? Okay. Well, I think I'll take a look at how I've set up CircleCI. However, I'm going to do this off screen because I had to learn the hard way not to expose API tokens publicly. So I'll have to ask you to bear with me for a moment. Yep. So there needs to be an environment variable segment write key. Defining encrypted variables in Travis YAML. Before adding sensitive data, such as API credentials, you need to encrypt it. Encrypted variables are not available to untrusted builds. Yeah, that's the same thing I've already done for package I/O. So I'll use Travis encrypt, use a variable and add it to env dot something. Or I could define them in repository settings. Yeah, I think that's a bit more straightforward. Okay, let's go to segment, grab the right key, then go to Travis. And then trigger another run, restart job. So this makes me realize switching CI providers isn't really trivial. It requires a lot of initial setup. And while I was afraid that having that as my only official agenda item for today would be not enough, turns out I'll be able to fill more or less the full session with that. Fortunately, that's something you don't do every week. Not sure how old my CircleCI setup has been so far, but it's been running for at least 2 years now. And that's why I'm basically starting from scratch. And here we go, it's running my tests. While it's still running, I could add a new issue for simple form. Wrong repository. Here we are. Dashboard issues. Deprecation warnings. That's definitely a minor bug. Maybe I can even copy one of these error messages. I hate it when that happens. And actually I've already ordered a replacement keyboard. Your build exited with 0. That's good. Okay, so now we have a working integration with Travis CI. What I can do now is remove the CircleCI configuration. However, oh, that was premature. Because what? Yeah, let's reset to that. Because our CircleCI configuration also has deployment built in. So if we are running a build from the master branch, it actually executes the bin deploy staging script, which deploys the application onto the staging website on Heroku. And that's what I have to migrate to the Travis configuration as well. Not that one, we can close that. Something like this. So we need something like deploy. And let's see, deployments and uploads. It is a Heroku deployment, but I guess we'll have to have more than what's provided by Travis, because the deployment script actually does a few more things like automatic database migrations and stuff. So we need to run a command here. So we definitely need the on constraint, on branch master. And then we'll just use a script, I guess. Deploy, provide a script, and then the script name. Yep. Provide a script and script colon. And we can copy this. Provider needs a dash prefix because there can be multiple providers. And we'll have to run it with bash and then the script name. And just to give you the complete story, we only do automated deployments to the staging instance. And after we've done user acceptance testing, basically, we can run a bin/deploy production script manually that will simply take the build artifact that's already on Heroku for the staging instance, and it will be automatically be used for the production instance as well. So we don't have to deploy new code and run new stuff. We'll tell Heroku simply, okay, you already have a build artifact that we've tested, and please take it exactly like it already is and run it on the production instance, which makes things a lot easier and more robust. I guess that's that. Since I don't have any changes in master at the moment, I won't be able to test the deployment right away, and I guess I'll have to add a few more environment variables, for example the Heroku access key as well, but I don't think that will be particularly interesting, so I'll save that for later because I'll have to do it mostly off screen anyway. Let's submit this commit, which is add deploy phase to Travis CI config. That should be okay. we can at least take a look at Travis if I've broken the configuration file. Doesn't look like it. And since we had a previous successful build, this one should run much faster, since it will be able to build on cached stuff. Hey, Parsit07. Is Suka BLQD kind of salute allowed here? I wouldn't know. But I guess today is a day where I have to catch up on lingo things. If there is any source you can recommend for me, I'd be happy to get it, because that phrase actually reminds me of something I got. I was told on World of Warcraft, and I didn't know if it was just a keyboard error, if it was something in a different language, or if it was an acronym that I didn't know. So I have the creeping suspicion that it's the latter. Okay, we're good. No deployment, of course, because we're not building from master. And that's that. So, I'm actually going to use this for a pull request. I'll clean up the commits first, though. So let's do a git rebase upstream. Let's quit everything so I can be sure that things work. And we'll basically squash everything into a single commit, which I'm going to reword. Add, it's not a basic Travis CI config, but it's actually the full config. Will replace CircleCI, will replace existing CircleCI config. This time we will need a force push. Oh, it was actually Russian. Okay. Yeah, because the guys were from the Kazakh realm, so that's mostly a Russian World of Warcraft server. Split shell Vim terminal workflow. Yes, this is it actually is. Hey, Kenzodev, welcome to the stream. I hope I don't scare you away with all that stuff. Okie dokie. Actually, Parset, I don't have a project command set up. I will do that though, because that really makes sense. I think I already have a plan command set up, but that only points to my GitHub repository where I have the session agenda. You don't scare me away at all, DevOps team lead here. And I stream that sometimes as well. Oh, you need to give me your well, I guess it's under Kenzo Dev, I guess. So I'll definitely have a look at the stuff you're doing. I'm mostly doing Chef infrastructure coding here, but in the previous session and as a follow-up on this session, I was doing some work on our Rails application for our hosting dashboard. And I'm happy to say that I just finished up what I was doing. So what I'll do is go over to my agenda for today. Chef, the memories. It's not memories for me here. I've been using Chef for 8 years now, and still happy with it. I was even able to convince Paramorphia that Chef is far superior to Puppet. Three, two, one. So let's check this off. Switch from CircleCI to TravisCI is mostly done, I guess. I'll have to remove the integration here on GitHub as soon as I see that TravisCI is working fully, including the deployment. But yeah, that's only a minor thing. So Kenzo Dev, you've been doing Chef for more than 4 years, and it sounds like, since you said the memories, you're now using something different. Used Puppet, Ansible, Salt. Yeah, we've been using Puppet at my corporate job back in the day, so I know that. Ansible and Salt I know only from reading and attending presentations about them. Both seem pretty powerful and have some useful stuff. And you're now using Ansible. Ansible seems to be a great tool because especially it seems to be pretty easy to get started. Just on a previous stream, someone asked how to get into automation. So far, they had been doing manual spinning up of AWS instances just in the web console. And so I actually recommended either going the Chef route by using AWS OpsWorks, or to keep things a bit more simple, I guess, I recommended taking a look at Ansible. You changed jobs and they already had an Ansible setup. So are you happy? Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ansible will pop up in our organization at some time, even if it's just for a few minor things. Oh yeah, I just read. The only problem I ever had with Chef is the attribute order thing. Yeah, that attribute merging algorithm with default attributes layered onto other default attributes and on top of everything override attributes. That's still something you need to wrap your head around. All right then. Well, folks, I guess we're done for today. Did I trigger some PTSD? I'm sorry. So sorry. Yeah, we are done for today. I'm happy to have you here. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet or followed the channel yet, that's what I actually mean, please hit the follow button. And if that's the case, you'll get a notification when I start my next session on Thursday afternoon, same time, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Thanks for following. I'll make sure that I follow back. And until next time, cheers.